$10,000. Gents, that's a lot of money, especially for a project, a promotion that would have taken up 1 hour of my time. You see, the company that approached me, they had a team, they had writers, they would have written out the script, they would have written out the article, and I looked it over and I thought it looked pretty good, but then I pulled back and I realized I turned them down. Why? That's the subject of today's video. All right, gentlemen, so here's the quick story. Over a year ago, a supplement company approached me. They were breaking into the men's market and they had a specific set of products targeting men. We're talking testosterone booster, healthy prostate. I received the packages. I thought it was really great packaging. I did research on the parent company, where the products were made. Everything looked legit. I spoke over to my nutrition experts. These guys were saying, Antonio, everything I see here is good to go. I talked with the company. They were looking to script out my video. They were going to write the article. They were going to make it so I had to do less than 1 hour's worth of work. Just film the video. They were going to edit. They were going to make it easy for me and keep it all within my voice. But I said no. And I realized that, it really came down to I don't use supplements. I'm not an expert in supplements. This isn't something I focus on at Real Men Real Style. We focus in on style. We focus on grooming, business communication, etiquette. I turned down that money because at the end of the day, I didn't want my integrity to be compromised with you guys. So that leads to the question, Antonio, well then how do you decide what companies to work with? Gentlemen, I've got 5 criteria that I use to judge companies and make sure they're a fit for Real Men Real Style. The first thing I look for in any company I work with is that they're going to solve a problem. Gentlemen, that's Business 101. Because if you have a business and you're not solving a problem, no one is going to freely give you their money unless you're being deceptive. So with every company I look at, I'm like, okay, what is the problem they're solving? It's funny, that same month that supplement company reached out to me, another company named Sheath Underwear reached out to me. The guy, Robert Patton, the founder, he was in the Army and he basically was in Iraq in hot weather and he was just having chafing issues down there. Guys, he basically was saying, Antonio, I was over there. I was trying to build my own underwear. So I get back to the United States. I'm like, I could not have been the only person with that problem. He tried some of the other products out there, realized I am just going to solve it myself. So he built underwear that basically has the Zen pouch. Yes, guys. So if you are working in hot weather, if you have chafing issues, if you're an athlete, and that's actually how I use this. So when I go on longer runs, I actually keep everything all where it needs to be. But the point is that he came in and created this amazing underwear and solved a problem. Oh, and by the way, he is the sponsor of today's video, Sheath Underwear. Guys, go check him out. I'm going to link to him down in the description. I'm going to have a code RMRS for 20% off. And guys, they are the real deal. The second thing I look for is quality build and innovation when I'm working with a company. And I do this because every company I work with, I make sure they ship me the product and I have time to test it out. I have turned down promotions whenever they can't get it to me in time. With Sheath right here, over the last year, this is a pair of underwear that I have worn and washed 30 times. And I can tell you that it stood up to the test of time. I mean, there is no fraying on the stitch. The micromodal actually, I think, became a little bit softer. The Zen pouch has retained everything and has had no issues. So when I can actually wear something this many times and still promote it, work with a company again and again, that's what I love. Now, another thing with Sheath is that they've constantly innovated. So they're 2.0, then they went to a 3.0, then they went to a 3.21, and now they've come out with a dual pouch. Yes, gentlemen. So for your penis, there is now a pouch along with your testicles. There is a pouch here. The Zen pouch went to a whole nother level. He reached out, he talked to his customers. He asked them, what would you like to see? What would make this better? How can my product be improved? And even though many people were saying, Robert, this is fine, he listened to the ones that said, you can make it a little bit better if you did this. And he actually created, I think, just some of the best, the most amazing underwear when it comes to, taking care of your junk. The third thing I look at with a company is their story. I want to know, what are their motivations? How did they get the idea? What are their values? Where are they making and how are they producing this stuff? Who are the people behind the company? Nowadays, maybe 30 years ago, a lot of this did not matter to most people. And I'm not going to say that this is going to create the sale, but it will close the sale when you know that that company gives back to the environment, that they actually maybe have got a great story. It was founded by a veteran, things that you connect with and you want to support them because we all have a choice and the story helps us make that choice. The next thing I look at with companies is their customer service, and I hold them to a high level of customer service. I realize if I'm making the recommendation, you guys are going to go to this company, you are probably going to buy their product, and if they don't treat you well, that's going to reflect on me. And the cool thing is I've got the relationship usually with the founder or CEO, the decision maker. And if I hear back from someone in my audience who's saying, Antonio, I bought it and I couldn't return it, they had a horrible return policy, I reach out to them and I say, hey, what's going on, guys? This is what I'm being told here, and can you make this right? I actually want to make sure my guys are protected. Now with Sheath, I actually reached out to Robert. I said, okay, with underwear, how does this work? Because I mean, if somebody wears this and they don't like it, can they return it and get their money back? And he said, if they buy one pair, if they wear it, if they use it, and if they don't like it, then simply, if they ask for a refund, he will refund them their money. They don't even have to ship the product back. Now, I thought that was a pretty good, pretty awesome policy. And it's things like that that I'm always looking for to make sure you guys are covered. Right after customer service, I then go look at the testimonials. Testimonials are really important to me because when I look at that on a company's website, I can tell if they're real, if they're fake, if they're just putting in information. Testimonials, when done right, can create sales. And the way that a company is doing it right is when they allow both the negative and the positive. I find the testimonials sometimes better sell the product than the actual sales page that the company has put up because you get to hear these real experiences of people that are going through. Now, to make this video more fun and engaging, I want you to go over to Sheath Underwear, check out their testimonials. In the comments down below, copy one of your favorite testimonial. And guys, I'm going to go through and choose a few winners of the testimonials that I thought were the best, were the funniest, were just in a sense, I really liked it. If you want to win some underwear, I'm going to talk with Robert, the founder, and I'll make this happen. Now, Sheath Underwear, I'm going to put a link down in the description. I'm also going to put a discount code because, guys, remember, you can go out there, you grab one pair of underwear. If you don't like them, Robert will take care of you. He'll make you whole. And guys, that's what makes, what I do here at Real Men Real Style. I love putting out the information. I love teaching you guys. But what I get excited about is when you actually go out there and you take action. You go out there and you execute, you make happen, you start dressing better, you start wearing the clothing that I've tested, that I've recommended, and that I'm proud to stand behind. So thank you, gents, for supporting my sponsors, and thank you for watching this video. I'll see you in the next one.